I know everybody keeps saying you're going to live in the pod and eat the bugs, but let's just start here. You will buy the electric car and it won't work in winter. Most people know this. Batteries don't operate too well when it's really, really cold. And now we got this really big story because in Chicago, they're dealing with a very deep freeze. I just got back from Des Moines, where at one point, I think it was like minus 18. The wind chill was like minus 40. But wind chill is like, okay, guys, whatever. All that really matters to me, I don't care about wind chill. Put on a coat, you'll be fine. But it was freezing. And so a lot of electric cars were struggling. In Chicago, we have Tesla charging station graveyards because the cars can't charge in the very cold weather. Now, what Tesla is saying is precondition your batteries before plugging them in. That warms them up and gets them ready for a charge. I am a proud Tesla owner. I have a Model S Plaid. It's a really, really great vehicle. But I also have a Honda Accord, okay? Relatively less expensive, but nicer than a Civic. And it takes gasoline. And the reason for it is it works in winter. Thank you, internal combustion. This is the problem with the climate agenda, okay? If we were to get off fossil fuels overnight, people will die. They can't drive. The economy doesn't function this way. Perhaps then you'll understand why it is Bill Gates. His approach is stop population growth or diminish it. Because the argument isn't green technologies. That's not a solution. Oil really is one of the best, if not the best, energy sources that we have. Petroleum, fossil fuels, etc. So in that instance, if you're talking about ways to reduce climate change, if that's what you really believe is happening, green technology won't solve the problem. A smaller population will, because then you can keep burning fossil fuels. Hence, those that are concerned about global warming or climate change tend to also agree there are too many people. Here's a story from the New York Post. Desperate Tesla owners in and around Chicago were seen trying to charge their vehicles with no luck amid frigid temperatures that have gripped the Midwest. Charging stations have essentially turned into car graveyards in recent days as temperatures have dropped to the negative double digits. Nothing. No juice. Still on 0%. Tyler Beard, who had been trying to recharge his Tesla at Oak Brook, Illinois Tesla supercharging station since Sunday afternoon, said. And this is like 3 hours being out here after being out here 3 hours yesterday. Beard and several other Tesla owners were trying to charge their cars amid long lines and abandoned cars at other Tesla charging stations in the Chicago area, the news station reported. This is crazy. It's a disaster. Seriously, said Tesla owner Shaliz Mizell. Look at this. Someone pushes a Tesla at a Chicago area vehicle charging station where many of the electric vehicles have been forced to sit amid freezing temperatures. Now, this was crazy. I was recently up in Alaska, went to Fairbanks. Every vehicle has a power outlet extension cable hanging from the front of their car. When it was minus 28, it was awesome, by the way. You stand outside in minus 28, and as you breathe, the moisture goes into your facial hair and eyebrows and eyelashes, and it's forming ice. Not an exaggeration. And Allison, her hair was turning white with frost. It's fun. But your car won't start because the battery won't work, even if it is gas operated. However, it's rather simple to start one of these cars. You plug your car in, it keeps the battery good and ready to roll, and then when you turn it on, gas kicks in. As for the Teslas, the whole thing operates off a giant battery. That battery is frozen, it's not even going to charge. And that's apparently what's happening. Their batteries are running out, they're pulling them up, plugging them in, and the car won't charge. It is kind of crazy that you can use the electricity from the battery itself to heat the battery, to precondition it so that it does charge in the cold. But apparently, people are just plugging it in, the car turns off, gets too cold, and stops charging, and then dies. Mazel said she abandoned her car and got a ride from a friend after hers would not charge. We got a bunch of dead robots out here, one man said. Kevin Sumrack told the Fox station that he landed Sunday night at a Chicago O'Hare International Airport at Chicago O'Hare and found his Tesla dead and unable to start. Yo, are you kidding? Okay, dude, I'm sorry. I don't blame Tesla for this, okay? I don't blame electric cars. I blame people for not knowing these things. Perhaps Tesla should put big warning things like these cars don't work in the cold. That's why I have an Accord and a Tesla. You know what the Tesla's great for? You would never buy gas. Never got to go to the gas station. Pull the Tesla up to the house, plug it in the wall, I'm done. So for local trips, electric cars are based AF. In the winter, I don't care. My garage keeps the car warm enough. Right now, I mean, it's not negatives here. What's the temperature right now? It says, what do we got? 30 degrees, I think it is. 26. Ain't no big deal. Inside my garage, however, it's like 40. I don't know. I guess it's just being kept warmer. Maybe the concrete is keeping things a little bit warmer. But so inside the garage, Tesla's charging just fine. It is plugged in. I don't got to worry about it. I wouldn't be stupid right now. So we just got a big snowstorm here in the tri-state area. I'm not going to go drive around a Tesla right now. That would be a really bad idea. It snowed a couple weeks ago, only a little bit, and then melted right away. But we decided we were going, we skated, and then we were going to go hang out at Maryland Live with the crew. And we drove the Tesla, I don't know, like a block, and then stopped and said, turn around, we're going back. It wasn't even raining it wasn't even snowing that much, but the thing was just spinning. And I'm like, I thought the automated controls would handle the snow perfectly, but we decided to take the truck. So we took a big truck, 4x4, and everything was fine. I don't know if I want to drive the Honda Accord in snowy weather like this, but anyway, I digress. Teslas are great. I'm a big fan. I bought shares in Tesla. You know, around the Twitter sales stuff, Elon Musk is tweeting up a storm, and the Tesla stock started to drop. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe people thought Elon Musk was tanking the company. So I was like, I'm going to buy the dip. And it paid out very, very well. So I was like, okay, cool. So I bought a bunch of Tesla stock. Not a whole lot, but, you know, I don't know, a little bit. I got to say, I like Teslas. They're good cars. But, yo, if you're going to drive your Tesla to the airport and then go fly somewhere and come back in the winter, your car is going to be dead when you get back. Everyone, well, I'd like to say everyone knows this, but look what they're doing. They're pulling up being like, why won't my car charge? Ah, dude. My friends, I guess I have the unfortunate privilege of having worked at O'Hare Airport. At O'Hare, we have what's called a tug. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, you know what a tug is. TUG. They're little tractor cars. They pull bags, baggage carts. And there's two kinds. There's a gas and there's an electric one. I like the electric ones. They're fun. You just turn it on, it goes whee, and then you hit the pedal and it just goes. But everybody knew in the winter, there was no point. Every time you use it, you have to plug it in and then use it, but it might just die on you. So just grab the gas-powered one. And so there were blue and red gas-powered tugs. The red ones, we called those Go Get, and the blue ones were local. What that means is, I think it was called Go Get. It's been, how long has it been? Oh, man, 20 years. That was when you needed to get bags from American Airlines and bring them to American Eagle planes because they're similar companies, but one's regional, one's larger, smaller planes, Embraer jets and stuff. And then local meant you were moving bags from one American Eagle plane to another. These things are almost always gas, and someone else always refueled them. Don't ask me who did the work. It's kind of that meme of where the guy says to his girlfriend, if you fall asleep, when you wake up, the garbage is just magically gone. And it's like, she's the one doing it. All I know is that I'd go out, there'd be a tug, I'd turn it on, it had gas in it. And that's all that mattered. But no, having worked at the airport, we knew the electric vehicles didn't work in winter. They were great in the summer, but in the winter, the battery would drop rapidly and you'd have to charge them up constantly. People right now are hopping on to buy Teslas because they're hot. It's a big brand, but they don't understand when it drops to below zero, your vehicle is as good as nothing. So what's Tesla good for? They're great. I'm a huge fan and I do recommend them, but I'd say you want to get like a Model 3 or one of the cheaper models and you're going to save a lot of money driving locally. Now, some people are like, no, it's still more expensive than gas. I don't see it, man. I take the car out when we're going to the grocery store or if we're not going more than like a half hour's drive, maybe. You drive it there, you drive it back, you plug it in, you never go to the gas station. And the total cost I have on it, it's like 5 cents every night, if that. It's like a negligible. Gas is more expensive, but if we're going to drive a couple hours, got to go gas. Because then we drive an hour. You know, we've had these issues. And if we're going to the airport, for sure. We've done a bunch of stuff where it's like we got to park the car at the airport. Yeah, you're nuts if you're bringing your Tesla and parking it at Dulles and leaving it there for a week in the winter. You will come back and be like, what do I do? My car doesn't work. And there's no charging station, so get it towed. And that's what's happening. Man, it is kind of sad to see. I suppose the answer here is just Elon Musk is going to have to do a better job of explaining to people what it means. Fox says they reached out to Tesla but haven't heard back yet. Elon, you got to include with these cars like warnings about winter. I suppose the concern, though, is if people found out these things don't run well in winter, then they're going to be like, why buy it? For real, dude, buy a Honda Civic for a substantially less amount of money, and it just runs whenever you want it to run. But you'll need gas, and gas costs money. Remember, man, best of luck to all of you in your Tesla graveyard. I got no beef. I like Teslas, but y'all should have read the instructions. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.